Yo, what's good, people? My name's Tarfari, and this is going to be my recap and review of The Flash, Season 2, Episode 11, Return of the Reverse Flash. So, this was a crazy fucking episode. Fucking off the walls. Dude, alright, so a short synopsis would be, the Reverse Flash enters the timeline earlier than, was previously recorded, right? So what we learn is that supposedly the Reverse Flash has visited Barry's life at multiple times, through the device of time travel, and so when he entered the timeline, he didn't even know what timeline that was. He had to do some research and figure it out, and he needed to gauge Barry's powers and see how he would go about handling a certain mission. And so what he did was he hijacked a truck and rigged it to crash, and he wanted to see how Barry would go about stopping the crash. And depending on how Barry went about stopping it, depending on what moves he did or what abilities he did, would show what era, where in the timeline Earbord Thon or the Reverse Flash really was. That it would be able to prove to him, that maybe, I don't know, Barry hasn't gone Super Saiyan 1 yet or some shit, right? And so once he figured out whatever era he's in, and it's unclear to the viewer, then he actually decides to leave. He's trying to boogie. He didn't even want to interact with the Flash. And you know what? Now that I say it backwards, this is interesting. He didn't really. Was he even going to interact with the Flash? It had This is very interesting. And this whole episode just created more mysteries. One of the things that happened in the episode is Caitlin, who really wants that Jay Garrick D, she's trying to keep him alive. And I mean, I've never been happy about this relationship. I feel like it's way too soon. Ronnie just fucking died. She's being a slut. Why is she jumping on that JD right now? You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like some more mourning should have been involved. Man, I don't even care if the dude is 6'2", right? Well, anyway. She really wants him not to die. So she's trying to figure out, well, if I can give him the cells of his doppelganger on Earth 1, all I gotta do is find his doppelganger and then I can save him. That's her mindset. So she sets out to find the doppelganger, and this is where one of the biggest contradictions in the episode happens. She says that she uses facial recognition software to scan all the people in Central City. I'm pretty sure she said that. I'm gonna watch it again, but I'm pretty sure that's what she said. So she couldn't find nobody that matched his facial recognition. Then later on, Barry tells her, well, instead of sneaking all behind Jay's back, why don't you stop being a thought and just talk to him and figure out, maybe he's already found this doppelganger, and I could have sworn they were gonna say he's dead, the doppelganger died, or it was gonna be a little kid or something. Man, I was waiting to see something epic. Instead, Jay Garrick says, hey, you know what, I do know where my doppelganger is, meet me at this one location, and I am gonna watch it again, and we're gonna get that location, and we're gonna figure out what the importance of that location is, because I feel like that location is way more important. It was some type of park, and I'm sure the name of the park is going to correspond with something in the comic books, because this episode was Easter egg full. So what else happened? I wrote some notes down, right? And one of the notes that I wrote down was Patty, you sneaky bitch, right? Because at the end of the episode, Patty pretty much, and I called it, Patty figures out that Barry's the Flash. He doesn't tell her, she just figures it out. And I mean, how difficult could it be? You just do some back of research and voila, boom, he's the Flash, right? And so when she finds out, she confronts Joe, and Joe's like, he's not the Flash, you're crazy talk. And I guess he's a bad liar, and she can see that he's a bad liar. So that was her confirmation, right? But Barry refuses to tell her, so they still are in that breakup mode, right? Okay, so back to Caitlin and Jay. I didn't even finish the story. So Caitlin and Jay tells her to meet her at this park, and we're gonna find out. You're gonna see my doppelganger. And so takes him to the park, and now I'm starting to think Jay's full of it. I'm starting to think Jay be on some lying shit. You know what I mean? Every episode, Jay's character comes into question more than Harrison Wells. We all know Harrison Wells is a dickhead, and man, he's smarter. He's really smart, and it's a scary kind of smart. But Jay Garrick is just, I don't know. Sometimes he teeters between mysterious, cowardice, and stupid. You know, and I mean, and lover boy. But you know, where does he go? One of my notes I wrote down is like, what does Zoom do on his days off? Zoom did not appear in this episode at all. So what's he doing right now? You know, like there's so many mysteries, and that's why this show is so good. That's why I'm so passionate about this show. Here, let's see what other notes I took. Let's see. Okay, so Jay Garrick shows Caitlin, only Caitlin, his doppelganger, which is this dude named Hunter Zolomon. That's his name on Earth 1, Hunter Zolomon. And I already know from prior research that Hunter Zolomon is Wally West's ReverseFlash, right? Okay. So, but supposedly, you know, I don't even know. And when they show him, right, he looks, and this is where the contradiction comes that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. She said she did facial recognition on everybody in the city, but this dude looks just like Jay Garrick. So I don't understand, man. And this is like the second time there's a contradiction around Jay Garrick. Earlier, the contradiction was like in the first episode, they were like, yeah, we upgraded our security and no one's gonna be just getting in. And exactly right after they said that, Jay Garrick's standing in there. And they never, you know, no one ever talks about that again, you know? Just very interesting, man. Like, this whole episode is just freaking crazy, right? So, why is Patty a sneaky bitch, right? So, Patty's a sneaky bitch because at the end of the episode, she calls Barry on the phone. She's on the train. She's moving away. And she says, Barry, there's a man. He's got a gun. And she's like, okay, I'll get help, you know? He's the Flash. He goes, he friggin' puts the suit on and friggin' goes. And he goes on the train. There's no man with a gun. It's just Patty and some passengers. And I mean, that was her way of proving that he was the Flash, right? So she's sneaky as fuck. Okay, guys, so I ran out of room on this commentary. But on the next commentary, we're going to talk about the device Cisco made to enhance his powers. We're going to talk about the ReverseFlash trying to get more tachyon devices, the ReverseFlash getting captured by Barry. We're going to talk about what you know, the dialogue that was said between them. You know, is Barry about to die soon? We're going to talk about a bunch of fun things in the next episode, man. Like now and subscribe for more epic commentaries.